I dove into deep research on how first-generation Americans handle money. And guess what? What I found honestly really broke my heart. Like, we're making more money than our parents ever did, but almost half of first-generation Americans are supporting family back home. And it's not just money. It comes with emotional and physical stress. Families regularly send 19 to 65% of their income back home. Often, they're skipping things they need for their US families. And the stress? Research shows it's literally making us sick and depressed. But here's the silver lining. Once you see these patterns clearly, you can break them. And look, I am not saying that you should never send money back home. Absolutely not. Like, I send money back home every single month. But you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself first. Research proves that first-gen kids are already some of the most disciplined savers. Imagine what happens when we channel that discipline into wealth building. Helping your family isn't a bad trait. They're not bad habits, right? But when taken to an extreme, they are patterns that keep us from building wealth. I'm going to show you the 7 money patterns and why they're hurting you and how to fix it. Hi everyone, if you're new here, my name is Wahida. I'm a girl who used to work in wealth management, and now I'm on your team. Being first in your family to build wealth doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Not by any means. So, here's how this started. For years, I worked with families who've had money for generations, like multi-million-dollar accounts, right? Trust funds, the whole thing. And I started noticing, like, how they thought about money was completely different from how I was raised. So I got curious and I started looking up research. And what I found in studies from top research institutions really opened up my mind, like blew my mind. It validated a lot of the experiences that I was having. Research from the Center of Immigration Studies found that second-generation immigrants save money the same way their parents' home countries do. So even if you've never been to your parents' home country or lived in your parents' home country, you may be saving the same way people in that country are saving. We copy our parents' money habits without even realizing it, even if those habits hurt us. By the time you're 7 years old, money patterns and habits are largely established. But don't worry, like, this video isn't just about problems, right? I'll give you concrete strategies to break these patterns, because understanding without action is just really freaking expensive talk therapy, okay? And we're here to change habits, change futures, build generational wealth, okay? Pattern number 1, sending too much money home. Almost half of first-gen Americans send money home, sometimes 19 to 65% of their income, right? That's a lot of money. For the past decade, I've been sending my parents in Malaysia $300 to $400 every single month. So about $50,000 total. I started when I got my first job after college, making about $32,000 a year. So right away, I was sending 15% of my income to them. Why did I do this? Guilt. I felt like I owed them, right? I'm not even that close to my parents, but I felt like I owed them. 1 second. We got a visitor. Well, good thing you already got a key fob. Can you see if I'm still good? Has it always been so slanted? No. And let me tell you this. There was absolutely an expectation for me to send money back home, right? Let me know if you can relate in the comments. Actually, I know you can relate. A study by Motley Fool found that 80% of respondents felt obligated to financially support their parents. And this is a first-gen respondents. Here's the math that runs across my mind whenever I'm annoyed with my parents. $400 every month invested from the age of 22 to now, and I'm 32 now, would be worth $70,000. And I would have contributed about $50,000. I chose feeling guilt over building real wealth. But first-gen Americans are actually really great savers. 70% of us have 3 months of expenses saved at least, versus 46% of the general population. We're already good with money. Use this fact to set smart limits. Figure out how much you're able and willing to give. Maybe that's setting up a max of 10 to 15% of your income to your family. Automate that. When guilt strikes, remember, feelings aren't strategy, right? Get the emotions out. Here's the hopeful flip side. The fact that we're able to support family back home while we're living in one of the most expensive countries in the world shows how strong we are, okay? Now, imagine what can happen when we set smart boundaries. Set boundaries and your wealth can grow. Pattern number 2 that's hurting you financially. You're keeping too much cash. Studies show immigrants often distrust banks and prefer cash. Before I started investing, I had $20,000 sitting in my checking account because I didn't know there was somewhere else I should be putting this money. No one talked to me about investing. Growing up, I remember my dad always having coffee cans of coins and cash laying around the house. Can you relate? By the time we're 7 years old, money patterns and habits are largely established. Think about it. What's your earliest money memory? Is that how you handle money today? Let me know in the comments what your earliest money memory is. Oh, it's like a tongue twister. My earliest money memory? Getting Eid money, and it went straight into a drawer. I saved it all. It took me years to get out of that scarcity mindset. And every once in a while, there'll be something happening or like a large bill will come and I'm like, ooh, that scarcity mindset, you're still here? I'm like, oh. It's a work in progress for sure. Anyways, a study of 28,000 immigrant kids found that they're simply less likely to use bank accounts compared to kids born here. This cash-only thinking gets passed down, even if we've never lived in our parents' countries. Here's what my cash hoarding cost me. The almost $20,000 sitting in a checking account for 5 years, if I'd put my emergency fund in a high-yield savings account and then invested the rest, I would have made thousands of dollars during those 5 years, instead of just making, 50 cents from interest, right? Not being taught basic money literacy cost me thousands of dollars. So, yes, respect your parents' needs for security, but don't let that ruin your wealth. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses and anything you need for the next 3-ish years in a high-yield savings account. Anything beyond that, we're investing, okay? I started with $50 a month investing into index funds while also having a cash cushion. The goal is training your brain to see invested money as safe, not scary. Start small. Build your trust slowly. Pattern number 3 that's hurting us financially. Being too scared to invest. Even after getting financial education, many first-gen immigrants hesitate. Especially women. Knowledge isn't the problem. Being too scared to make decisions is. But here's what rich families know. Time in the market beats timing the market. NIH research found that even after targeted financial education, immigrants and their children stayed hesitant to start retirement accounts or invest unexpected money. Okay, so force yourself to take action. Give yourself a time limit on researching investment choices. Research for a maximum of 2 days. Financial education is fantastic, but only when combined with action. Set a timer. When it goes off, invest in the best options from your research. Better yet, I made a whole ass video on my favorite index funds and how to make an excellent diversified portfolio. Check it out. Studies show that diversification within good choices beats analysis paralysis every time. And guess what? If down the line you find that you want to tweak your investments, go ahead. You can course correct as you go. Pattern number 4 that I'm seeing, you're feeling like you owe your parents forever. This is survivor's guilt. You made it out. So now you feel like you have to take care of everyone else who didn't. Research shows that most first-gen Americans plan to take care of their parents when they retire. Research shows that immigrant families regularly send money to extended families. We become the safety net, even at the cost of our own future. Here's the trap. This guilt feeling never goes away. There will always be another family member who needs help, another emergency back home. Meanwhile, we hurt our own money future trying to be everyone's money solution. The fix? Set clear limits on what you're going to send back home to help. Research shows successful first and second generation immigrants become strong money contributors because they build their wealth first. You can't help others if you're broke, all right? Fill your own cup first, like truly. Change how you talk about building wealth. Tell your family, I'm building an investment account so I can help family for many years to come. Not just send money on wants and not necessarily needs right now, okay? Your money success honors their sacrifice by creating lasting security. If you find yourself in any of these patterns, they aren't failures. They're predictable patterns. Changing behavior requires addressing cultural and emotional barriers. Yes, we can increase our financial knowledge, but changing behavior requires addressing the cultural and emotional barriers as well. A study by USC shows that one-time financial education fades after about 6 months, but repeated practice with cultural awareness creates lasting change. So, I am challenging you to pick one pattern you recognize in yourself and commit to making a change for the next 30 days. Let me know in the comments which one you're choosing because you're not doing this alone, okay? We are the generation breaking the cycle. Our parents gave us survival, and now we get to build abundance. That's the gift we are going to pass on. Next week, I'm breaking down the exact investment strategies wealthy families use that you can start implementing with as little as $100. Honestly, with as little as like $10. Subscribe if this hits home. We are just getting started. All right. Bye for now, friends.